Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Masonry Strong Podcast. Today, I'm joined with Jameel Ervin. How are you doing, Jameel?
I am great. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So your path in the industry is pretty unique. Do you mind just kind of starting off where it started and how you got to where you are now?
I don't know if we have enough time for that. But, I started in the industry at a young age. I think I was maybe 15, 16
Okay.
when I started in the industry. My mother married a bricklayer.
Okay.
So my stepfather was a bricklayer, and I had to get out and go to work all summer long while all my buddies were playing basketball.
With him?
Yes, with
Okay.
him, yeah. Or sometimes he would just he just throw me out to the wolves, And so I'm this kid on the job site, and so while all my other friends were playing basketball, and I'm talking about I envied them,
Yeah.
but it's crazy now how the tides have turned.
Yeah, of
You know what I
course.
mean? And so from 16, 17, I labored all through high school. I remember one time I had a girlfriend, and I decided that we were going to Great America on a work day, and I wasn't going to work. And my alarm clock went off. I didn't go downstairs. My stepfather was ready to go. I didn't go downstairs. He came storming upstairs. Why am up? Why am I not up yet?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to Great America. No, you're not going to Great America. So he made me. I had a brand new outfit
Yeah.
and some brand new gym shoes, and he made me go to work in my brand new outfit in my
Are you serious?
yes, yep. And so, but I'm very, very grateful for it because it helped me learn first things first and helped me prioritize, you
Yeah.
know what I mean, my priorities, you know what I mean? And
course.
so from there, I think maybe I was a junior, senior in high school, and then I got out and I went to the military. And so I served in the 82nd Airborne Division. Wow. Airborne all the way. When I think about it, I can't believe that I sacrificed my life for an extra $150 a month. So I jumped out of airplanes.
Really?
Jumped out of airplanes just for an extra $150 a month on my check.
Oh my gosh.
But it was a great experience being airborne. With so much pride, and
Yeah.
I was in a battle ready unit, and so we were on cycles. It's called duty cycle, critical cycles, and we couldn't go too far away from the base because we had to be ready to go anywhere in the world within 18
Yeah.
hours. And so
18 hours?
18 hours, we had to be ready to go anywhere in the world,
Wow.
anywhere. And so it's just funny how I was just thinking about evolution and technology,
Yeah.
and there were no cell phones then.
Okay.
And so we had to call back to the barracks every hour on an hour, and the code word was Red Corvette. So if you heard Red Corvette, you had to drop whatever you were doing, and you had to head back to the base.
Wow.
And so I did 4 years in the Army, 82nd, as I said, North Carolina. Then I got out, and I said, I'm done with construction. I don't do any more construction. I'm sick of this. And I had a job. I got a job at, I'm gonna tell my age now, MCI. There was an old phone company called MCI. And I got a job at MCI as a salesman, and I sucked.
Sales wasn't for you?
It wasn't for me. It was not for me at that time. We have phases in our lives
Yeah, of
where we
course.
grow and mature, and sales just was not it at that time. And so lo and behold, I ended up back in the construction industry as a laborer.
That's funny.
And so I'm laboring, and one day my uncle said, Jameel, I need a bricklayer apprentice. So be mindful that I'm 20, 21 years old, making $30, $40 an hour back then.
Wow.
I was making 30, 40 bucks an hour back then, right? And he said, Jameel, I need a bricklayer apprentice. I said, well, you still need one. Because I'm balling out. I got my own place. I got a nice car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm dating. I'm having a great time. At the young age of 21, man, I thought life couldn't get no better.
Yeah, of course.
And so he said, well, you're going to be an apprentice. I said, well, you're going to pay me journeyman scale. He said, Jameel, I can't pay you journeyman scale because, you're not as good as a journeyman. So I got busted down to $16 an hour. Oh, I thought it was the end of the world. My car got repossessed.
Yeah.
You know, because I was living it up.
Yeah.
And so there's no worse feeling than coming out the house and seeing car tracks from where somebody pulled your car away. And so from there, I had to work for Saturdays for free in order to get
Wow.
he got my car out, and I had to, work for Saturdays for free. But in retrospect, that was one of the greatest decisions that somebody ever made for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
As far as becoming a bricklayer. And so here I am, 22, 23, in an apprenticeship, union apprenticeship,
Yeah.
working my way up the ladder, learning how to lay bricks. And then I became a journeyman. All right, became a journeyman, and we specialized in restoration. Terracotta, grinding and tuck pointing, you name it, we did it. And so I worked my way up through the ranks in there to become an actual foreman. Wow. And so to go from not even wanting to be a bricklayer, to evolving into a craftsman, because that's what I eventually ended up as, a craftsman, to now a business owner, right? So I think we incorporated and started in maybe 2011.
Okay.
I think it was,
Wow.
So from 2011 to now we've been in business. So I've been in the industry so long, but so from 2001 to date, this is the only thing I've ever done, exclusion from being a sucky salesman.
So if you, back in, before you went to the military, if you didn't love it, what kind of changed in your mind to make you have a passion for it? What was that one kind of switch that was flipped?
That made me go back to the industry?
And make you actually enjoy it?
The money.
The money?
Yes. At 19, 20, 21, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was always, and I've always loved seeing something from nothing go to something, a hole in the ground to go to a building. And being a part of that, being able to be a part of that was amazing. So of course the money back then, but just being a part of something special.
Yeah.
Being a teammate. You know what I mean? And so that's what, and the passion, it was already in me, but I just needed that one thing and that one job or that one project to bring it out. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's all it takes is that one thing to bring it out. Yeah.
And going from being a salesman and getting knocked down in pay, getting your car repossessed, you've made a huge comeback. What do you think is the art of the comeback, in your eyes?
Always believing that there's something greater. That there's something greater out there for you.
That's awesome.
I can't say that no better.
Yeah.
Just always believing that there's something greater out there for you, right? And having the balls to take the jump. I'm sorry, I don't know if I was supposed to say
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah.
But having the balls to actually take the risk
and
make the sacrifices. So for instance, I had a wife, and which I love so dearly, and I had a 6-year-old and one on the way. And
congratulations.
Thank you. Our house was in foreclosure. Like when I say we were PO-PO, POOR, PO. And so I knew that there was something greater for us. So what I would do is I'd do a side job, and we didn't have a mortgage because the house was in foreclosure. So I put enough in the house to keep the baby some food and keep the lights and gas on, but I would go and I would take the rest of the money and buy off Craigslist. When Craigslist was real popular, I went and bought scaffolds off Craigslist. And I would do another side job, put enough money in the house to cover, again, light, gas, Pampers, because I had one on the way, and I had a 6-year-old one. I think my baby had already been born. So to put Pampers in, and I take the money and I go buy a wheelbarrow. I go on Craigslist, I find brick carts.
Yeah.
Please be mindful that I knew not where another job was coming from.
Yeah.
I just believed that there was something greater out there for us.
Yeah.
As a family.
That's awesome.
I knew there was something great out there for us, so I just began to prepare for whatever that great thing was.
Yeah.
And and the amazing part of it is not being able to see what that is scary.
Yeah, it is.
We could have been homeless. Instead of paying the mortgage with the money or trying to catch up, get out of foreclosure, I'm putting money to go buy brick carts.
Well, that's where most people's minds go, is when they're in the dark. They can only think of the worst. But you seem to just think, I'm not even going to think about that. I'm only going to think about
Yeah, I think
what things can be.
Yes, I think that what's helped me in life, because we've been through a lot of tough times to say the least. I came from the hood, or both of my parents were drug addicts, so the odds were against me, right?
Yeah.
But I think what helped me the most was the grace. It was the grace of God and my ability to see past where I was. I never saw. Even right now, when I get in the jam, we get in a tight spot of things are not right. I can look to the other side of that, and so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for whatever you call that.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for it.
That's
you know
awesome.
what I mean? Yeah. I don't know how to put a name to it, but I'm grateful for it.
Outside of work, what do you like to do? What are some of your hobbies that you're into?
Oh man, I got a lot of hobbies. I'm an avid gun guy.
Gun guy?
Oh yeah, I'm a gun guy. I like all things outside. Basketball is my therapy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I play basketball. Then let's not forget I'm a father of a 19-year-old and a 13-year-old. I'm a husband.
That's awesome.
So my plate is full. But man, shooting, I love trap shooting. I love, you name it. And I'm a trendy guy, right? And so I might be into guns one day. I might be into fitness the next day. But all those things are very expensive hobbies.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I enjoy a lot of things. And my favorite thing to do is travel.
Travel?
Yes. So we've been to, my wife and my kids, we've been to Egypt, Jordan, Dubai twice.
Like twice?
We've been to Rome 3 times.
Wow.
We've been to Venice. We've been to, my wife's into fashion, so we've been to Milan. We've been to Greece. We've been to Spain. We've been to London. We've been to a couple of, like Aruba, a few of those places like that. But yeah, travel. We love travel. So
What was Dubai like?
Dubai is one of the most progressive cities that I've ever been into. The architecture is amazing.
Really?
It's more so. It's more of a new. It's
Like
really
modern?
new. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
modern. And so when I call it the Masonry pilgrimage, right? Because when we first started making money, we started making memories instead of collecting things, right?
Yeah.
And so went on a quote unquote Masonry pilgrimage, right? So my wife had no clue why we're in Egypt. Well, not only that it's the first civilization, and there's a stone structure with 2 million blocks in it, you know what I mean? Or in France, because a lot of these countries are thousands of years old.
Yeah.
And just to see the masonry, and it's still loving, and it's truly masonry strong.
Yeah.
It's definitely masonry strong.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Growing up in Chicago, there's always the polarizing, are you a Cubs fan, are you a Sox fan? Did you pay attention to baseball at all, or was it more the Bulls, were you big into the 90s Bulls?
Oh man, 90s Bulls is nothing like it.
Oh, I'm sure.
90s Bulls.
I wish I could have experienced that.
Jordan, the rivalries were amazing. So when I know this, you hear this, the people probably say this a lot. That's when basketball was a basketball. It was real basketball. But I'm a South Side guy,
Okay.
so I'm a Sox.
Unfortunately.
I'm rolling with. Oh my God.
I'm a Cubs fan. But
There's always that
they're
one.
Both,
My gosh.
they're both kind of at the bottom of the tier right now. So it's hard. It's hard being a Chicago sports fan, honestly.
Well,
The Bears are.
They do have a lot of potential this
They
year.
have so much potential.
You know what I mean? They do have a potential this year. They might go to the NFC Championship. Who knows? You know what I mean? Go Bears, go Bulls,
That's what I'm saying.
go Sox, Cubs. I guess go Cubs.
Yeah. If you're feeling it.
Yeah.
That's funny. So when did you get involved in the MCAA? When did that whole relationship start?
That's funny. That's funny. I've always been a quote unquote loner, right? I've always stayed in my lane. I've always minded my business. I've always done my march to the own beat of my own drum, right? And so I found myself running a business, my wife and I, to where we were successful, but I didn't have the tools to maintain where we were.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't have the tools to maintain where we were. And so my wife encouraged me. She said, Jameel, listen, you got to get out and you got to go meet people.
Yeah.
You have to get out of your shell. You have to get out of your lane. You have to get out of that thing that I was in, right? And so I signed up. I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody. Of course, I went to the world of concrete a couple of times, but it's not as intimate, for a lack of better terms,
Yes.
as the mid-years are. And so my wife said, listen, you got to get up out of you got to get up out of it. You got to go meet some people so you can grow, so we can grow, so we can evolve. And so I went to French Lick.
Okay.
And the rest is history. I'm here talking to you now.
Yeah.
The rest is
Yeah.
history.
And now we're in Utah, surrounded by mountains.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
I know,
awesome.
right? Yeah.
How have the connections been that you feel since you joined?
Man,
Like,
amazing. The friendships and the camaraderie that you build and the relationships that you build are second to none.
Yeah.
You know, I've made some great friends, lifelong friends, some mentors. The greatest part about it is people pull you under their wing. And for instance, I went up to EZG, Damian Lang, and he took me in his home and he showed me all around, and
wow.
and he took me to each of his businesses and he opened up to me and said, Jameel, you need to do X, Y, Z. This is the way we do it.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I think
awesome.
we did like 3 million. But after I did that, I sat with Damian, like I would call Kent Huntley. I'll call John Jacobs.
Yeah.
Donnie Williams, that's my man.
Yeah.
Like Donnie and I are like thick as thieves. I'll call him looking for advice. I'll call anybody around the industry. When I call, they pick up the phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
and
awesome.
Larry Pakela.
Yeah.
Like I've built some great relationships, and they've helped me grow as a person, and they've helped the company grow.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
Do you like World of Concrete and like walking around the convention?
I love World of Concrete, man. I said I'd get a budget because I'm a big tool guy. I love tools and equipment.
Yeah.
And I'll go ball out.
Yeah.
You know, at the World of Concrete. So
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the
That's
World of
awesome.
Concrete, but I enjoy mid-years more so than the
For
World
sure.
of Concrete.
Way
So,
more intimate, and you get to talk to your connections even more.
Yes.
Go out to dinner with them or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's definitely amazing. So.
Growing up in Chicago, are there any buildings that kind of stick out to you where you're like, I love this? Like, certain spots in Chicago where they're your favorite? Because I'm not from Chicago, but I'm like 45 minutes out. So I've been, so I think I definitely can. I got a couple. Like I love Wrigley Field, obviously. But what kind of sticks out to you about Chicago?
Like my friend and I, we would get on at 11, 12, 13, we would get on our bikes and we would ride all the way downtown.
That's awesome.
Yes, we just gone. And Sears Tower was always fascinating. John Hancock was always fascinating. Buckingham Fountain was always fascinating. Then, as I got older, I was able to explore more. So then you got Wrigley Field, which is a landmark. There are a lot of buildings around Chicago that are very, very impressive, old and new.
Oh, yeah.
Old and new.
Awesome.
And I think the greatest part about it is, as a Mason, we get to add to that legacy.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
We get to add to that legacy. So the coolest buildings in Chicago that I've seen are the ones that we built.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And as we're wrapping up here, I'm just going to ask you one last question. What does Masonry Strong mean to you?
Well, again, man, Masonry Strong, like I came up on the back end of the old school, the old guard, man, where they took pride. They had a code to what they did. They did things a certain way, and there was a reason by it.
Yeah.
Right. And so they took pride in their work, craftsmanship. Like if I was putting up a corner and one crooked brick was in, they was coming back kicking it down. You put it up on your own time.
Yeah.
And so, man, I come up on the shoulder of those guys, right?
Yeah.
So I just pray that I'm doing them proud, right? But man, Masonry Strong is just, it means the world to me. You know what I mean? Because it just means so much, because like just coming before giants, that did things without the things that we have now.
Yeah, exactly.
Without the technology, without the equipment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They built what we building now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so
no,
that's
exactly.
just, yeah, so that's what makes you strong means to me, is more so than anything, is legacy. If I could put it in any other
Yeah.
way, makes you strong means is legacy to me.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jameel. Thanks for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt. Thanks
Yeah,
for having me,
yeah, of
man.
course.
It was an honor, man.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Love to hear
it was a
it.
good time.
And we'll see you guys next time.